Welcome to the September 12th, 2024 meeting of the Decatur Architectural Review Board. I will call roll with each commission member answering present. Ellis Chenault.
Present.
Barbara Kelly.
Present.
Patrick Rasco.
Present.
Michael Rogers is absent tonight. I am Jacob Woods, the board chair, and we have a quorum present. Dr. Swope is the city's preservation specialist. Thank you to everyone who is attending today. Your involvement in this commission's proceedings is vital to the effectiveness of this process. There's a copy of the agenda out front if you would like one. Historic district designation means your neighborhoods have been recognized by the United States government, the state of Alabama, and the city of Decatur as being architecturally or historically significant to our community. Historic districts are not created to prevent changes, but rather to ensure that the proposed changes are appropriate to the individual property and the districts as a whole. The board's responsibility is to review the appropriateness of all proposed changes. Each historic resource within the district is assessed on its own individual merits. What is appropriate for one property may not be appropriate for another based on resource age, location, neighboring properties, and stylistic details. The Architectural Review Board's rulings are based on written standards and regulations that guide our review and decision-making. These guidelines and the Commission's decisions have the force of city ordinance. You can access our guidelines along with application forms on the city's website. Our hearing process is as follows. Staff will present the applications. When they read your name and property address, please be prepared to come to the podium. Staff will present the application and staff assessment for each request. When staff is finished presenting the application item, the applicant and/or designated representative will then state their name and address and provide any additional information or comments regarding that application item. The board may ask clarifying questions of the applicant at this time. Next, we will hear any public comments on that particular application item only. After public comment has closed, the chair will entertain a motion and the board will discuss and dispense of that application item. Staff will then proceed to the next application item and so forth. An approved Certificate of Appropriateness, or COA, will be issued in the form of an email that's copied both the applicant and the building department, approximately 1 week after this hearing. The document will outline and reaffirm what was approved and that the project has been approved. A COA must be issued before a building permit can be obtained. If any changes to your project are anticipated after the COA is issued, it is the responsibility of the homeowner to contact staff, and she will help guide you. In some cases, you may be required to submit the changes for review and issuance of a new COA. If your project is denied and you are not issued a COA, you will be issued a letter stating the reason for denial and additional information. Denied COAs will be sent via certified mail to the property owner's address filed with the Morgan County Revenue Commissioner's Office. You may resubmit an application with revised plans at a future meeting. There is an appeal process for a denied COA as well, which is spelled out in the municipal ordinance under section 1825 and 1892. After all applications are heard, the commission will entertain general comments from the public limited to 3 minutes per an individual. First item of business is the approval of minutes from August 8th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Next, we have expedited COAs since the August meeting.
301 Oak Street as a new roof, 224 Davis Street, also a new roof, 622 Johnston Street, rotting siding replacement, 421 6th Avenue, new lights by the side door. 406 Canal, a new roof. 426 Sherman, tree removal. 809 Line, sidewalks. 638 Jackson, front porch handrails. 120 Cherry Street, storm damage repair. 623 Johnston, replace rotting siding. And 113 Kane Street for a front yard fence, a picket fence. So for the new COAs, the first one this evening is 623 Jackson Street, southeast. And this is for a new roof. This is the property location. It is a Colonial Revival Foursquare. It's located in the Albany district. It currently has an asbestos roof. It's one of a handful in the district that have the vintage asbestos roofs with the diamond-shaped shingles, and it's leaking. It's reached the end of its life. Typically, staff does fast-track shingle replacements, but in this instant, they requested a style that had not been approved within the district before, which is why the commission is reviewing this application for the full board. So the action requested is to replace the asbestos roof with a specialty shingle design. So this is a roof currently. Design review standards, 13 roofs, 13.7, repair and replacement of asbestos shingled roofs should be with cement fiber shingles or compatible material. Select an alternative material compatible in appearance and profile. 13.8, it is not appropriate to create a false historical appearance by adding conjunctural features without historical, pictorial, or physical documentation. So the diamond-shaped shingles that historically were used on past renovations, and we see one here with Michael Rogers' house, some of you may have been on the board at the time this one was approved, are difficult to track right now. They are on the West Coast. Sometimes we can get them here, sometimes we can't. It sort of seems to be variable. For the last year, some of you may recall, staff has been unable to locate a manufacturer with local distribution where local houses. So we've had an ARB ruling that a standard architectural shingle is an appropriate replacement until we can consistently locate a historically closer profile. And so that is just an example of was the closest thing we could find to the asbestos design, and this is your architectural shingle that is being used throughout the district now. So this is the proposed replacement here on the left. It is sort of the dog-eared design, and then of course this is the house currently. The proposed carriage house shingles are designed to mimic slate with their dog-eared profile. Page 3 of the manufacturer's pamphlet states that they, quote, create a one-of-a-kind look of scalloped-edged natural slate. When reviewing past files, the commission historically has not approved slate design to replace asbestos or other shingle styles. They have always referred to 13.7 and 13.8 in requiring a matching profile, or if not available, a standard composition shingle. I did go back in because I was curious what the house would have had for an original shingle. The 1913 Sanborn Fire Insurance map codes the roofs. This one had a wood shingle, which is what most of the houses did at that time period. And some were replaced with asbestos, and then others went into asphalt shingles as they became popular. And that was pretty much all done by post-World War II, is when the wood shingles just disappear. And the standard replacement for those has always been the architectural shingles. And so that is all that I have in the staff report. Do you have any questions for the applicant?
So what, your current shingles end of life, like how urgent or how quickly are you needing a new roof? Is it like an immediate need, or do you have time to?
It's an immediate need. It's
immediate.
Leaking.
It's leaking actively. Okay.
Yes. And what they did is they have already replaced our hardwood floors.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is a concern.
Gotcha. Okay.
You don't like buckled hardwood floors?
No, not at all. Not when they're beautiful old floors. They didn't look very good buckled. And you could see where the water had run off on the sides. But they've done a really good job with it.
What The ones that you guys have asked for, what, do we know what, like, manufacturer or anything that is, or just?
That was all in the application packet. I don't have it in front of me. I know
Okay. I
the
didn't bring it
name.
with me. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
I didn't bring it with me, but that's
Okay,
okay.
I know that the style was Carriage House is the
Gotcha.
manufacturer's name for that particular style.
Like are you like the GAF company?
Yeah, I thought it was
It's
probably
Yes,
GAF.
it is. And that one shingle that she showed, we tried to get it, the one that,
It's
not
like a
the,
diamond shape or the,
that one, and they've discontinued it, so
Mm-hmm.
we couldn't get that one.
Yep, I know. I guess probably 2 years ago, I think GAF, 2 or 3 years ago, they quit making that one. The only people I know are, I think, Pabco Roofing out in Washington is probably the only one that has the diamond ones right now. I guess my big issue with this is the way they're trying to replicate slate. I know in the historic district, we try to keep not use replicating materials. Like if you're going to use slate, you use slate. Asbestos makes it a little bit hard because that's not available anymore. You can't get it, which is why we've moved to the 3-tab or the architectural and the diamond shape. And a lot of times the slate roofs are stylistic to a house. If you look at them, there's usually, I think Victorians have them. There's some, and I don't know if, looking at the house, I don't feel it's appropriate to put the slate roof, even a real slate roof on it.
Okay.
And I don't know structurally if it could handle it because it wasn't designed to have it, the weight of that slate roof on it.
She did send us a diamond one that she found, and we're willing to go with that one.
Okay. Well, I mean, those two options that she showed, those are able for her to approve and
That one on the
Faster.
left, they don't make anymore. The one on the right, I don't like, but she sent us a different one that was diamond shaped. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
The one on the upper portion here is the Papsco roofing Cascade.
Oh, it is?
Yes. And then the one on the right is a standard architectural shingle.
Okay.
So the one on the left is one's available?
That is a Papsco product. Now, whether or not you can get it here, it is based out of Washington State. That would be a question for your roofer.
Would it just be the shipping that's the problem?
Sometimes it's just distribution centers, so they're just not set up to distribute. And because it would be a specialty order, and shingles are very heavy, we did check into it with a house. Now, this one is slightly different because this one also has the insurance company involved, and so at that point, it's different than a normal homeowner going in and requesting. It has different layers of administrative review and assistance.
yeah, I believe it's called the Cascade Pabco roofing product.
Okay.
Yeah, the one I know that I saw that's available, it has the diamond shape, but there's like multiple, it's very busy. It's like from a light gray to a dark gray, it's extremely busy.
Yeah.
It's just a,
That was
think
the
it's
only,
that one.
the appearance-wise, that was the only thing I had a little concerned about. I love both of them, I don't,
which is normally
but
like a.
I was a little
brown.
concerned about
That's
how
like
busy
an
it
odd
was.
color combo.
Yeah.
Do they have any other
It is
options?
this one.
Because they,
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so she said this one is that one.
And that's the one that has all the color variation?
Yes.
Does it come in like a more blended color?
they're showing an antique black on the site, but I don't know if that's even available.
So, and I should clarify, because historically, anything that is in the weathered wood, charcoal, black, staff has approved. If it's more varied than that, the board has always wanted to review it because they've never, to my knowledge, approved
looks like
anything
the
outside that color
This
range.
is,
But
that's the
they
black.
have shingles within that color
Is that the
range.
same as that?
It is, it's just that's black.
I mean,
Does that give the full color range on that page?
see, this doesn't look as bad.
That was good.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get it up on the big
Very
screen.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand that, yeah.
Sometimes even with the architectural shingles, you can get patterns that are real varied too in color. You have to be real careful to make sure you get one more consistent.
Okay.
I mean, I would be okay with either one of those, the diamond shape or the other going on.
Let's see if I can get on the internet. Has been sporadic today, so
I know you have an active leak, but I would love for you guys to have the opportunity to find one of those. I think
He said
we
he
may
can
be
get it
losing a
out
little
of.
bit if we go to the same shingle on every house that has to have a roof repair from now on, because we're down to just that 3-tab architecture. I think we're losing a little bit.
There weren't too many of those asbestos roofs in the district.
we had very few.
Anyway, they're very
Yeah.
few, and because they cut that diamond shape out, that's the
All right, so this
uniqueness
is
of
the
those.
shingle.
Yeah.
Is that diamond shape.
I
Jacob,
didn't know
Patrick,
this one and another one.
this is the shingle that Papsco has. So this is antique black.
Yeah.
This is oak wood. This is a pewter gray. I think those are the three.
oak wood looked
I'm
good.
guessing oak wood is probably the closest match
Yeah,
color-wise to what
that
you
was
currently.
I like the oak wood. I just didn't like the pewter gray because it was
Yeah,
like, some of them
too
looked
busy.
light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, totally understand. So yeah, the oak wood I think would be the closest match to what you.
If you click on that, does it give you a?
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Okay.
Broader view.
I would
Yeah.
we have to have a sample.
Let's see if there's any.
That's
See, that's more uniform, that picture.
Here it is on
There
a
it is.
modern house in Oakwood on their site.
That was a lot lighter.
That's not the purple one, is it?
I don't know, it could be.
Okay, there was one that looked purple and one that looked gray. So we liked the one that was more grayish black than the purple one.
Right,
It
because that would
actually
look
had a show
purple.
in Huntsville that we went to.
Yeah.
And one of them actually.
Had a
Look
purple
purple.
cast to it. Not ideal probably for your house.
Works great out west.
Yeah. Different.
And our roofer can
Architecture.
get the, this one. It comes from Washington State, so he said it would take about 6 weeks.
And one thing, I don't think your pitch is as steep as these, so you won't be seeing as much head on.
You probably, I mean, I hadn't thought about that, you may be right.
Yeah,
Because that would look pretty from a distance, I think.
Yeah.
and that's a lot of roof on that one. Your roof is
Yeah,
going,
Yeah, you
barely
can't see
can
it
tell
so
what
high
your roof
anyway. So we would be good with that. the
So then on
cascade.
this one, then it would be, because I'll be signing off on the COA, it would be the, what was the wood? Now I'm going to go back and find that color. Let's see. That's not what we were in.
Are they able to send you a sample where you could look at them in person, or have you seen them?
Oak wood.
My understanding, they make them as they're ordered. So I mean, even if the sample might not be the same.
It might not be exactly the same depending on the lot number.
Point cost what we get.
They might be able to make them more uniform too if they're making them
You never know.
as you go.
So then am I hearing the one that you, is oak wood, this one here? Because it's not the black. You said the black was too dark, and so this was the oak wood, which was the one that
I think,
matched.
what is the other one?
Computer grade.
I think that was the one that looked the best on the paper. The oak wood, it turned purple.
The
That was my
pewter
one.
is this one here, which has those sort of white spots on it.
That one.
Computer.
Let's see if I can.
Can you pull their house back up too?
I don't think you'll see it like that, though.
yeah, you won't
Yeah.
see.
Once you lay it
almost
down, the
nothing.
variations don't show up as
I
much.
hadn't thought about that, it might not show up as much that way.
It's not going to be too much.
All right, their house.
Yeah.
I feel like we need 5 screens in this room.
How did you get that second picture where you
It
see
should be
more of the
up,
roof?
up.
This one down here in the corner?
Just a minute.
I stood on Bill Stone's porch.
Okay, so you were on the porch, so you had a little bit of height there, so.
Yeah. this-
Typically, you'd be seeing like
Typically, you're
that.
going to see
Typically, that's what you're gonna
this.
see.
So it's a standard dark roof on a brick house,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty ubiquitous within the district, is that dark roof.
I mean, I can honestly see either the
black
the
or-
3-tab or this one that you found,
Okay,
either
but I
one.
want to clarify color so that we don't end up with,
Is that something you want the flexibility to work
No, that is something that y'all need to
Okay.
review on this one, because we have not approved a lighter gray before, so if that is their first choice, that is something the commission has to consider.
Okay.
Commission's
Usually-
always approved shades of black. They've done lots of versions of wood, which this is like a weathered wood. This one's called oak wood. This pewter gray is this image here, which has far more variability in its color profile than what I believe I have seen the commission approve so far. So if that is,
And my gut check would have been oak wood, but you're saying it goes purple?
Well,
If it's the same one, it
The one that, yeah, the one on their thing was like pale. If you could put that one up
I
again.
like the oak wood and the black. Those are the,
well, can we
Yeah,
put
oak
oak
wood
wood
picture.
or black and then pick which one we like
Is that the
best?
one, is that
I think
oak wood?
either of those
Okay.
would be acceptable
that's the
based on
purple
what
one.
we've
Yeah,
approved
I
in the
agree.
past.
Okay.
so oak wood or black, and have them some samples so you guys can
Yeah,
look at
that'd
the
be great.
samples.
They have a showroom where we can go back and look.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so then what I'm hearing is an amended COA to address this product. And then if for some reason this product doesn't come through, then I can do a standard COA that gives them an architectural shingle if something goes, so that they don't have to come back in front of the board.
That's correct. I make a motion to amend the COA for the diamond-shaped shingles from Pabco, either antique black or oak wood, or the staff approval of the standard architectural asphalt shingle.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect, okay. I will get y'all's COA out in the next couple of days.
If,
Go ahead and reach out to the showroom and see what they can get you, and we will get you on your way.
make sure you take it outside too. If you've got a show, if they have a showroom where you go see it, see if you can take it outside because the light will change the way it looks.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. Next up is 626 Sherman Street. And here it is located on the map. This is a 1930s colonial remodel house within the Albany district. One of the wood columns is deteriorating on the front porch. It has reached a point where it cannot be repaired. It does need replacing. It is to replace column, and you can see there it's the front left. Well, as you're facing it, it's the left. And this gives you some of the details of where it's been. You can tell it's been repaired already at least once. And it's multiple sections that have been repaired, and it is now at the point where structurally it is not functioning properly. Design review standards, 12 porches, 12.2, replacing kind with appropriate materials. Alternative materials that duplicate the appearance, texture, and architectural detail may be considered. Replacement elements should match the original in size, shape, pattern, color, and texture. Staff has worked really closely with the property owners and actually the manufacturing company for this product. There is no exact match for this in wood or in fiberglass. It does not exist. So within fiberglass, we have located a close match. And so this is the existing column that's on the house where he was measuring out the details. This is the replacement column, the details. So, the height is the same of the overall column, but where sort of the breakdown portions is sometimes an inch off here or there. The board has authorized fiberglass columns for certain applications in the past. And this is one, certainly, it's not unreasonable to assume if we have one failing column, the other columns are going to be the same age. It will be a matter of time before they eventually will fail and need replacement as well. And so at that point, we already have a vendor lined up that can continue to match the fiberglass as it moves across the house. The property owner is not here this evening. I'm not sure why. They were supposed to be. Something may have come up. But given that this is one where staff has had to be so heavily involved, so I've been the one on the phone with the manufacturer quite a bit. They created that spec sheet at my request. I'm not sure that the property owner could necessarily answer questions beyond what I could, so I would suggest going ahead and voting on this if you're comfortable. It's one where I think we have reached the best scenario we can, given not being able to personally hire Michelangelo to come sculpt a column capital, which is about the next step at this point. So Any questions on this?
And currently, this would be just the one replacement?
My understanding is it is just the one, but if it's like most houses, I would not be, the ones on the end are going to get the most wear because that's the rain's going to hit them the most. But I would like to see a COA that states that staff has the ability to fast track any others that match, because I would hate for them to have to come back to the board. I mean, normally I will approve column replacements in kind, but given these weren't entirely a match and the magnitude of the scale, I really wanted the full board to review it without me taking the administrative role on this one.
And it does look like it's a remarkably well-chosen column.
It is a very, very nice column.
It looks like it's close.
Yes, I mean, that was, I'm glad my house does not need those columns replaced.
I'll bet,
We should all be very glad.
Not cheap.
They are not an inexpensive product. It is a sizable investment, and that is not counting having them installed. That is just purchasing the column. That is not having someone bring it to your house, prop up your front porch, remove the old column, and then place the new one in.
And this is just a random question, but there's no chance of saving the original capital and putting the other column under it?
No, because the other one is going to have different proportions the whole way. So
Okay.
if you try to do that, it's going to throw, and then you've introduced two materials that are going to expand and contract differently on top of each other, and it is a structural column, so you're risking a structural challenge as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think one, we have approved the fiberglass in other situations. I did take some time and look at all the dimensions and compared them, and they're pretty close. Are they a little bit off? Yes, but I think from a distance, and probably most people aren't going to be able to tell that, even with the slight size changes. And so, I mean, I think it's a good choice as well to possibly deter any rot in the future.
Fits pretty close to the design. But if that's all there is,
And it has insist on it. It bows upward as it goes.
I don't know if these have entasis.
I don't remember that. I didn't check that
Let
part. I
me
was checking the
see.
top.
Here
capital.
is their shop drawing.
I was thinking one of the shop drawings showed it larger at the bottom and then
Yeah, it's a bit larger at the bottom than it is at the top, but that's not entasis, is the bulge in the middle.
Right.
And I'm not necessarily
I'm
seeing that, but
assuming.
that doesn't mean that it's not there, because it's normally so subtle, it's designed to look straight when you stare at it.
Yeah.
And they don't have it measured off to show, but I do know that this is sort of like, this is what is available. We don't really have, to have a wood one, which would also not be an exact match, even with their carving, because I've spoke to them about that. A wood column, a singular wood column is, column alone is in the $15,000 range. So, and it would also not be an exact match.
it would, yeah.
So,
Yeah, gotcha.
Any other comments? Do I have a motion?
yeah, motion to, what would it be, an amendment to the,
No, it'd be, do you want me to make it?
to approve, yeah, go ahead. I'll second it, go ahead, thank you.
I make a motion to approve the fiberglass column as submitted, and that staff would have the ability to fast track any more columns that need to be replaced on this particular house in the future.
do I have a second?
With the same column.
With the same
Yeah.
column?
Yeah, with
Okay.
the same column.
Yeah, I'll second.
All
Oh.
in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are good. I will let Mr. Mosher know tomorrow that this has been approved and he can get moving on it. That is it for our agenda. We
Can I
are
ask one
on a
question?
roll. Yes.
About this particular project. It says it's a colonial revival experience. Yay! We approved it.
You missed all the excitement. It actually has been approved, the fiberglass. So, there you go.
I appreciate it, thank you.
And they also amended the COA so that if you have to replace the other ones at some point on the front, I can sign off on it without having to come back in front of the board.
And that day is probably coming, so I appreciate that, thank you.
I'm sorry, Barbara, you said you
My
had a
question was about your house. I thought it was a Victorian that in 1930 was transformed into colonial revival. That's what I've always.
When Kitty Eister owned it, sometime in the 30s.
Yeah, she
is
did.
When flip it all around.
Right.
And made it look the way it does.
That's what I'd always heard, so.
Yeah, no, it's true. You crawl in the basement, you can kind of see the old foundation, and then see where the newer material is, if you can call 1930 stuff new.
Interesting.
It's so interesting. They did the same to the Hoff House next door. Added that onto that one.
Yeah, Nancy has that whole long history of competition between the Hoffs and the Eisters. It's pretty fascinating. It is. I wish I could get a picture. And John, and I've talked to John Elson a few times about trying to find a picture of what it looked like before the renovation. Here it exists, but I have not been able to run it down yet.
I can get you a building footprint for it from a insurance
The
map.
Sanborn?
Yeah, that's,
I have those.
got that then.
Yeah, this kind of confirms, what it looked like back in the 20s, in the turn of the century. So you see the old footprint, and then, of course, the current footprint.
Sense. Any other questions?
Any other discussion, comments? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those in favor?